Hi. Hola.
Hi, here's Mr. Dösel.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new limited edition Deadly Focus Pack Adidas Ace 16.1. Now as you guys can see, it comes in this pretty cool drawer style box with a really high quality detailed kind of black and white snake graphic on top. Pull the box open, and on the inside they do include a couple of extras. The first extra is this little hang tag. Given that this is a limited edition release from Adidas, you have the Adidas logo on one side, and you have the other side that tells you a little bit of information about this particular release. This little dot with the two lines on either side, that I believe is the Italian independent logo, which is the company Adidas collaborated with for the Deadly Focus Pack. You have the date right there, which is May 1st, 2016. The release date for this particular pack. It says limited collection, and then as you guys can see, they were limited to 700 pairs. I have pair number 151, so only 700 pairs, pretty exclusive. And basically what Adidas has been doing for the last couple of months is having one limited edition release per month, this being the May release. So that's why you have the date on there. They also include a string bag, or a boot bag, I should say, to go along with the shoes. It's made from basically what's kind of like a cotton material, almost like what you would expect a t-shirt to be made out of. And then it has strings on either side that don't actually kind of tie together. It's basically just a boot bag, so you could kind of close the top, but you can't wear it as a backpack or anything like that. And then again, you're gonna find the Italian independent logo right there on the side in the form of a little tab. No actual Adidas branding on the string bag. Other than that, all you're gonna find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at what is a really interesting limited edition release from Adidas, the Deadly Focus Pack Ace 16.1. So they made an Ace 16.1 as well as an X 15.1 for this particular pack. Expect a video for the X 15.1 to go up relatively soon. But it's really cool. The Italian independent company is basically just a design company, and they collaborated with Adidas to make a shoe that's inspired by luxury goods and luxury items. That's why it has this kind of snake graphic detail across the entire upper, as well as on the sole plate. And on the Ace 16.1 platform, I actually quite like how it looks. Now, like I mentioned, the shoe was limited to 700 pairs worldwide, and they sold out pretty much in the first couple of days. So as you're watching this video, they are unfortunately sold out everywhere. But if you did manage to get your hands on a pair, the full retail price was $225 for those that are wondering. And basically in this video, we're gonna go over all the details as far as the colorway itself is concerned. We're gonna talk tech specs and general performance on the Ace 16.1, take a look at the weight of the shoe, as well as talk about how they fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around and watch the entire video. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now, as you can see, you have the same snakeskin print or snakeskin graphic that you find on the box that you saw just a second ago, but that is across the entire upper as well as the entire sole plate, which I actually think looks pretty good on this shoe. Obviously, the upper has a lot of texturing to it already since it is the 3D control web synthetic material. But then when you add the snakeskin graphic on top, it just gives it a very unique look. It's almost hard to tell that it's snakeskin from a distance, but up close, it definitely is, I guess, somewhat obvious as to what it is. It is a little bit abstract as well. And again, the inspiration, according to Italia Independent, which is the design company that essentially came up with this particular colorway, is that they wanted it to kind of mimic luxury products, and you often find snakeskin on a lot of luxury items. At least that's what they're saying. I don't know, I don't buy too many luxury items if I'm completely honest with you guys, but the black and white snakeskin print I think looks pretty cool. I like the white Adidas stripes going through the middle. Obviously the Adidas branding is pretty prevalent on this particular shoe. White laces, white Ace logo right there on the tongue as well. Again, I really like how you can see the snakeskin through the translucent sole plate on this shoe, even in the heel counter. Just kind of continues the design onto the bottom, which is pretty cool. All the studs are translucent, which I also quite like the look of. Then I'll give you guys a quick look at the insole. Again, the snakeskin pattern is continued. It's a synthetic leather as opposed to like a synthetic suede material, which is what you would normally find on the insole here, but that's not going to make much of a difference in terms of feel. The Ace logo, 16.1. You have the Italian flag, obviously, and then again, the Italia Independent Company logo, which are the 2 lines and the dot in the middle. So let me know what you guys think of this limited edition Deadly Focus Pack colorway. Do you like how they look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. From a performance standpoint, the Ace 16.1 is a pretty impressive shoe. It's an evolution of what we got from the Ace 16.1, but obviously with the current Ace 16 lineup, there are a lot more high-end models. You have the Ace 16.1 synthetic, which is what I have here. There's a leather upper variation. There's an Ace 16.1 Prime Knit, and then of course there's the laceless Ace 16 Plus Pure Control model. Of the 4, I really think that the 2 best shoes are this guy right here, the Ace 16.1 synthetic, as well as the Ace 16.1 Prime Knit. Those are my personal 2 favorites of the current Ace 16 lineup, and this is definitely one of the more underrated ones out of all the shoes. The Prime Knit model and the laceless Pure Control are definitely what has seen the majority of the attention, but if you're a fan of the original Ace 15.1, there's a lot to like about the 16.1 variation. So the upper, for the most part, is the same as what we got on the 15.1. It's the 3D control web upper that basically is kind of like almost like a denser foam material, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's still fairly thin, as you guys can see by the side profile, but it does have a slight padding to it just due to the variation in thickness, where you essentially have this kind of continuing triangle pattern across the entire upper. On top of that, you do have your non-stop grip dots, which you're going to find on pretty much all the top-end models from Nike. They're supposed to be Adidas's answer to Nike's ACC. It's a wet control element, but it's not necessarily, again, just like ACC, something that in my opinion is going to make or break your experience with the overall feel and performance of the shoe. So as far as touch is concerned, it's definitely on the thinner side, like we got from the Ace 15.1, but definitely not overly thin or anything like that. It does have a slightly padded sensation to it. Other features that you're going to find on the upper, the Adidas branding is not just there for looks, it's actually there as a reinforcement feature. So this is basically just an extra layer of like a thin plastic material that's fused to the surface of the upper. And it works kind of as a cable support system where you're going to find that it runs from the base of the sole into the lacing system. So when you pull the laces tight, these Adidas stripes are a little bit firmer than the rest of the upper. So it helps to hold everything in place, lock your foot, prevent it from sliding around. And the overall responsiveness you get from this shoe, I would say, is the best out of all the current top-end Ace models, even better than the Prime Knit 16.1. Laces run through the middle, as you guys can see. The tongue itself is, for the most part, made from a similar material to the rest of the shoe, at least in terms of thickness. And then you do have an internal memory foam strip running through the middle as well, which just feels really good. It helps to cut down any kind of lace bite, which is not an issue with this particular shoe. The heel cut, a little bit lower than what we got on the 15.1. I'd say it's pretty standard as far as soccer shoes go, so nothing too special to talk about there. Synthetic suede heel liner, which I really like the feel of. The insole you guys got to look at. Again, this particular colorway has a synthetic leather liner. It wouldn't normally have that. But basically you have perforations from the midfoot forward, and it's just a single layer of this black foam. Nothing too fancy, but it does get the job done. Then of course you do have the Ground Control 2.0 stud pattern and what is the return of the sprint frame. So the sprint frame is basically recycled from what we used to see from Adidas going back to 2010. It's a one-piece heel counter sole plate combo, so you do have an external heel counter. And then it's just a thin TPU plastic with some reinforcement bars running through the middle. So good flexibility in the forefoot area, a little bit more stiff and rigid through the heel and midfoot. But overall, a pretty good sole plate, and it makes the shoe very light. Same thing goes for the rest of the Ace 16 line. The top end models all have this exact sprint frame and stud pattern, just with different coloring depending on the model. And then as far as the stud pattern is concerned, again, it's very familiar in terms of what we've seen from Adidas over the years. Instead of basically triangular shaped studs, they're now conical in shape, and it is an FG-AG stud pattern. It's definitely more of an FG firm natural grass stud pattern in terms of how it feels and performs, in my opinion. And on firm natural grass, the performance is very good. On artificial grass, it does feel a little bit out of place. I wish the studs were a little bit shorter for use on artificial grass, but stability isn't an issue. It doesn't feel overly clingy, and for the most part, you can get away with it. So if you're on the market for a pair of shoes and you play on both firm natural grass as well as artificial grass, but you only want to buy one pair, all the current Adidas models are technically FG-AG, and the Ace 16.1 in synthetic is a pretty solid option if that's something that you need. So let me know what you guys think of this shoe down below in the comment section. I know, again, most of the attention has not been on this particular variation of the new A16 lineup, but I really think it's a good shoe, and if you're on the market for a pair of Adidas shoes and you like what the Ace line has on offer, don't completely disregard the 16.1 synthetic, because like I said, it is arguably the best shoe in the current lineup. As far as weight is concerned, the A16.1 in synthetic is actually a very, very lightweight shoe. So I'm gonna weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're gonna throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.1 ounces, the equivalent of 202 grams. So these fall into the same weight range as something like a Mercurial Superfly 4 or a Magista Obra from Nike. And of the top end models in the Ace lineup, this is actually the lightest model available. It's one of the lightest shoes currently on offer from Adidas, period. So if you're looking for something that is gonna offer that lightweight feel and also be very comfortable and fit quite well too, the Adidas A16.1, again, really, really solid option that a lot of people tend to overlook. All right, so here is a look at the A16.1 Deadly Focus Pack on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock white laces that come with the shoes. On my right foot, I have a pair of black and white Crackle SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. Find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, this is actually a pretty comfortable shoe from right out of the box. I know I compared it a lot to the previous Ace 15.1, but probably the biggest change they've made coming from the previous model is the actual shape and general fit of the shoe. This is more along the lines of what we got from the F50 Adizero, especially through the heel and midfoot, but maybe a little bit more high volume in the toe box and forefoot area. What I'm basically getting at is, if you like the fit of the Ace 15.1, this is completely different. This definitely does have more of a kind of thin synthetic, lightweight style fit, in that it is a tighter fitting shoe overall. With that being said, it's not restrictive. It doesn't feel like it's squeezing your foot or anything like that. It's certainly nothing like an F50 Adizero or a Vapor 10 in terms of just how tightly it wraps your foot, but it does have a tighter overall feel, especially through the midfoot where you have those Adidas stripes as kind of reinforcement. But that's kind of something you can play with in terms of adjusting the laces, where the lacing system does run quite deep through the middle of the shoe, so you have quite a bit of freedom to make them tighter or looser depending on what your personal preference is. The upper, though, really flexible, feels pretty good against your foot. Really nothing to break in. It's not going to soften up or anything like that. It's pretty flexible out of the box. And like I said, for the most part, it's a pretty comfortable pair of shoes. Width-wise, aside from the midfoot, which I would say is a little bit tighter, they're not narrow by any means. They're going to be suitable for most people. If you have really, really wide feet, especially through the midfoot, that reinforcement area is not really going to give width-wise. As long as you don't have excessively wide feet, I will say that these will fit you pretty well, as long as you don't mind a slightly tighter fit through the midfoot. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Deadly Focus Pack Adidas Ace 16.1. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, unfortunately, this pack is sold out. They were limited to only 700 pairs worldwide. But if you guys would like to see the high quality images of my pair that I took myself, you can check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. If you have any questions at all regarding this particular shoe, the Ace 16.1 in general, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.